Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection. Today, I'm going to show you some films by one of my favorite actors of all time. The man, the legend, Gene Wilder. And no, I'm not going to show Willy Wonka, but that is one of my favorite Gene Wilders. I wanted to focus on some movies he made in the later part of the 70s, early 80s. And I also want to show one of the greatest, I want to show you one of my other favorite movies. First up, guys, let's go with that actor, Gene Wilder. Let's do this. Now, here's a movie I had never seen by Gene Wilder. I got this recently, and I kind of took a chance. I had never seen it before, and I was like, man, I'll take a chance because I like movies about movies. You know, Hollywood about Hollywood. You know, and this takes place in the early the late mid-20s. I think 1925, something like that. And it's kind of based around, Rudolph Valentino. A studio is looking for someone to be the next Rudolph Valentino. So there's a national casting call, and everybody goes to Hollywood with their best Rudolph Valentino impression. Well, Gene Wilder is an inspiring actor. He can't keep a job. He's very wacky. This movie is so funny. I cannot believe how funny this is. I was just laughing hysterically in it. And it doesn't really get its due for some reason. You don't hear much about it for some reason. I mean, it's so funny, and you would think it would be with some of the other movies Gene Wilder, But, long story short, this movie's called The World's Greatest Lover. And, man, is it funny. It is really cool. It came out in 1977. It's got Gene Wilder. It's got Madeline Kahn? No, Carol Kane, Dom DeLuise. And this actually was directed... was it written? Yeah, written and directed by Gene Wilder also. And I think he does a really good job. And this movie is just so funny, and I highly recommend it. I really do. You got to see it. It's just a good story. It's well made. It's one of my favorite comedies. It has to be. I mean, it's up there like one of the best comedies of the 70s for sure, I think. So, The World's Greatest Lover. Next up by Gene Wilder, I have a movie that I just can't remember if I ever had this in my collection until about... Oh, wait a minute. I'm thinking about something else. Never mind. Okay. This movie I've had in my collection for a long time. This is a release. I think this release came out 2004. The movie made in 1979, 76. So he made this the year before The World's Greatest Lover. It's called Silver Streak. And it's another really funny movie. I think this is the first teaming of him and Richard Pryor. They would go on to make three movies altogether. It's got Jill Clayburgh in it. She plays kind of the love interest to Gene Wilder. It's just hilarious. Richard Pryor has a good part in it, but in the future movies, he'll have a bigger part in it. I think it's got a lot of characters. It's got a lot of other characters that blend in there. But really good movie, really good classic. I mean, growing up in the 80s, this was a movie you saw on TV a lot. It was on HBO a lot and stuff. And Arthur Hiller directed it. It's got a great cast. I mean, Richard Pryor. I'm trying to think who else is in it. Oh, Ned Beatty's in it. Henry Mancini did the score. I mean, it's a really cool movie. And if you haven't got it or haven't seen it, you need to get Silver Streak. It's on Blu-ray, but it's kind of high right now. And looking up some of these Gene Wilder movies recently, I realized that Silver Streak was kind of up there for some reason. I mean, this came out in 2004, so it's like, I don't know, but definitely need to add this to your collection. Definitely if you're a Gene Wilder fan. Now, finally, guys, on Gene Wilder, I have a small story. This is about a movie. This came out in 1980, and it's called Stir Crazy. And one of Gene Wilder's more famous movies, one of his best. But first, before I tell you that, this is a story that I was going to tell. I think Carlos asked about this. I had a story about it, and he said something, or he got it recently or something like that, and I commented on it. So anyways, when this movie came out in 1980, I was 4, and my parents were going to go see it in the movies, and they were dropping me off at Grandma's that night, me and my sister, and they were going to have a date night, I guess, which is really rare. My parents didn't do that a lot, but I must have threw a fit or something. I wanted to go to the movies, and I remember this. This is one of my earliest memories that I have, and it deals with the movies. And I went with them that night, and I remember sitting in the seat, and I remember 20th Century Fox coming up, or no, it's Columbia, the Columbia lady, and the dancing birds, and I remember it. I remember going to see this movie and stuff, and it's weird because I just turned 45 this year, so I mean that is a 41-year-old memory. It's like, it's just really cool movie. I really like the movie. Love the movie beyond my little story and stuff, and kind of the personal thing it was for me. But basically, Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor are 2 out-of-work actors from New York, and they travel out to California to try to break into the show business somehow, because they're broke and they really need a job. Well, halfway out there, they stop and they get a part-time job to get some money together to get back to continue on to Hollywood. Gene Wilder comes up with this ideal for them to, both of them, to dress up as birds, as woodpeckers, and do a little dance at this big bank and get some extra money. And his ideal was to bring customers in. Gene Wilder kind of has a lot of ideals and stuff in this movie, and basically these guys that they got into an altercation with the night before, somehow or another, is at the bank. They're casing the place. They're going to rob it. So they had an ideal. They'll take their suits while they're on lunch, and they'll rob the bank real quick. Everybody will see, they'll be perfectly disguised, except for one thing, a tattoo on the hand and stuff, and a little girl sees it. But anyways, as movies go, they didn't even really get much of a trial or anything. Next thing you know, they're in prison, and they're doing hard time. And somehow or another, the warden has this rodeo program. The prisons have a contest between prisons, rodeo competition each year. So Gene Wilder somehow or another can stay on this mechanical bull for like up till, long time. He can stay on it. It's totally bananas and everything. So basically they're going to escape from prison once they take the rodeo job. Gene Wilder gets his crew together, which includes Richard Pryor, and they're going to break out during that rodeo competition day and everything. And basically it's good. I think it's well directed. Sidney Poitier directed it. I didn't remember that for the longest time, but well directed. It's got some real good moments and stuff. Of course, it's a movie. It's got some far-fetched things in it, but it's hilarious. It's a classic. Of course, at the last minute, they because you've probably seen this before. I'm not giving away anything that you probably don't know. But if you haven't seen Stir Crazy, you got to see Stir Crazy. You can get this on Blu-ray. Looks pretty good. It's just, you know, your regular run-of-the-mill Blu-ray for under $10. So there you go. There was my story of Stir Crazy and some of Gene Wilder's best movies. So there you go, Carlos. There's the answer to the $1 million question. And finally, guys, I recently revisited a classic and one of my favorite movies. Now, I've had this for years. This was probably the 30th anniversary edition. What was this? I think this was the 30th. I don't know. It's the 30th anniversary. It's not the 40th anniversary, I don't think. But the movie I'm trying to talk about is Jaws. This is Steven Spielberg's third movie and his big hit. He had done some TV work. He made the classic movie Duel, which I need to get on Blu-ray. Then he made a great movie with Goldie Hawn called Sugarland Express. And then it was 1975, and a movie, a hot script going around Hollywood by Peter Benchley was Jaws. There was a lot of the studios wanted it. It was a hot script, and they gave it to the Wonder Boy Steven Spielberg at Universal, and the rest is history. I mean, this movie was huge until Star Wars came out 2 years later. But man, Jaws is just a classic. The soundtrack, the score, John Williams' score is just the score. John Williams is famous as Steven Spielberg for this movie. I mean, they both literally their careers took off and everything, and this still looks great. This edition was fully remastered, fully restored. It's from 35 millimeter original film elements, so basically a new scan. But it looks great. It's in 7.1 audio. It's got original mono, I believe. Pretty good. So anyways, guys.
I'm on break, baby.
So anyways, guys, also revisited that, and I got this other Blu-ray that had the remaining three movies, Jaws 2, Jaws 3, and Jaws the Revenge. Because I hadn't seen those in a long time. So I made the upgrade and got them on Blu-ray. I didn't have 3 and 4 already, so I made the upgrade I had part 2 on DVD. So now I got, a good little collection. Now I got the Jaws stuff going on. So there you go, guys. So I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Just a quick little episode. Gene Wilder, great actor. Jaws, what can I say? Great movie. So that's about it, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell and hit that like button and comment. Let me know. And that's about it. Till next time, guys. I gotta call my wife. She's on lunch, and I will talk to you later. See you later, guys.